Namaskar. Let me introduce first myself, Dr. Santosh Kumar Mahapatra, an Odisha-based columnist as well as economist. Today, I want to discuss what we expect from a government. Particularly, people are not aware of the responsibility of a government as well their duty towards the society. It is natural whoever rules will like to perpetuate power. From history it is learned that whoever has ruled before independence or after independence, they have tried to retain power. When they are out of power, they have tried to snatch power. It may be there be little of difference in approach, how one try to acquire power or how to one snatch power. What are the degree of negativity one utilizes, or how much one try to hoodwink the masses to capture the power. There is a difference, but it is the most common thing is that human being loves power. Those who rule loves power. There is nothing also to love powers, but what is important to perform, how you are performing. Most important thing is that we must understand a government is elected to perform. A government is not elected not to perform. Every year our size of budget is increasing and it is around 30 lakh crore in 2020 and 21. So whoever forms government, he will have the various schemes. He may introduce new schemes, he may renew some schemes, or he may increase outlay in some schemes because the nominal size of budget expenditure is increasing. But the question is how it is helping in the general standard of peoples, how it is helping to improve the standard of living of the people. That is the most important thing which we forget, which people forget to evaluate. Because whoever rules, they introduce some schemes and they highlight those schemes that we have done so much, and so things. That is quite wrong. The most important thing is that government policy should benefit the lower strata of the society, those who are vulnerable most. That is why they had to impose higher tax on the richer section of the society, and a tax must be direct tax, because direct tax is progressive while indirect tax is regressive. Direct tax affect, or the impact of direct tax fall upon who pays, but indirect tax affect everybody in the same rate. So but gradually there is more indirect tax, less direct tax. More indirect tax, less direct tax. So poorer section of the society are gradually paying more. The important thing is that government should generate resources and spend in such a way that it will help more the vulnerable section of the society. But over the worldwide, the crony capitalism is pervasive, and they are deciding the rule regulation of the government in worldwide. So as a result, rule is favoring them, and indirectly ruling class is riding roughshod on the masses, and a richer section of the society becoming richer at the cost of masses. So there is a growing inequality in not only India, in overall the world. It is only degrees varies. Richer section of the society, the corporate sections, they push the government to form a rule regulation for which they will pay less to the tax exchequer. Indirectly, poorer sections are the made to pay more through indirect taxes. And government is failing to raise resources, so it is resorting to disinvestment, privatization. It is extracting exorbitant dividends from the public sector or RBI, which has detrimental impact on future. Due to inability to raise the taxes, that is why debt is increasing. Government is borrowing more and debt is increasing, which has an impact on the all section of the society. The inability of to tax the rich, not only in India, all over the worldwide, is harming the common people. Particularly in India, the tax GDP ratio is one of the lowest, and it is now 10 years low. The central tax GDP ratio is nearly little bit more than 9%, and both central state it will be around 17 or less than 17%, which is half of the OECD countries or many other countries. Unless we have the resources, government cannot spend in the various social schemes, welfare schemes, which is affecting the poorer section of the society. My viewpoint is that some few schemes should not decide the popularity of a government or performance of a government. Most important thing, we do not need more schemes, but we need free education and health. Everybody should demand that government should not float so many schemes, rather provide health education free of cost or at cheaper rate. Because most of people, around 5 crore people, are dragged into poverty every year due to their health expenditure, and India has most of privatized health sector. 70% of the expenditure is borne by people's pocket, and our expenditure on health as percent of GDP is one of the lowest. It is around to little over 1% or 1.3%. That is one of the lowest in the world. Education expenditure is not also adequate. It is revolving around 3%. But Kothari Commission, Majumdar Commission, and a common minimum program of UPA had decided that it should be around 6%. And the privatization of education and higher education has a drain on the economic condition of the masses. One cannot send their people in public school without much money. Forget the educational facility in medical or engineering college. I am not opposed to privatization, or I am not opposed to that industry, because they are also providing some job. But what I want to say, those sectors should be under the control of the state, and people should have free access to health education. One must not be deprived of education health facility because he is poor. If people who get those facility at cheaper rate or free of cost, then their disposable income or their surplus income or discretionary income will rise at higher proportion, and ultimately this will enhance their purchasing power and will lead to the rise in demand and growth of the economy. So what people should demand, that instead of floating so many small schemes, government should not resort to advertisement or publicity, should not tell that we are floating so many schemes for the poorer section of society. Rather, government should come forward to provide the health, education, housing, free of cost housing facilities, those who have no house. Then society can be changed, people purchasing power increased, economic growth, economy will be vibrant. Thank you all.